Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're wrestling with a problem that is, well, it's just universal.
hmm
I hear this complaint constantly. It doesn't matter if you're a freelancer, a consultant, or even an investment banker.
It's always the same thing.
Always the same. We never have enough potential customers, not enough leads. It's that feeling of just constantly hustling, but the pipeline, it's never really full.
It's the ultimate professional anxiety, isn't it? But our sources today, they get right to the point with this really counterintuitive insight.
Would you?
That overwhelming feeling of lacking customers, it is rarely the actual problem. If you feel like you lack customers, you are in fact suffering from two completely different deficits.
And based on the material we've synthesized, those deficits are both structural and mental.
Exactly.
On one hand, you have this profound lack of disciplined preparation, which we're going to define today as the ritual of selling.
Right.
And on the other, maybe even more important, is just a fundamentally incorrect view of what selling even is.
So our mission today is to show you the specific 3-hour ritual you need to adopt before you even think about engaging a client.
Okay, so let's unpack that internal obstacle first. When a professional says, I don't have enough customers, what's really going on inside?
Well, often what they're actually translating internally is just one thing. I am afraid.
And the research is pretty surgical in naming those fears. I mean, there's the obvious one, fear of rejection.
Of course, but also the fear of losing face, your image, or just the fear of being a bothered, busy people.
Yeah, it's a big one.
And maybe the most debilitating fear, as the sources point out, is the fear of commercializing a personal connection.
The don't touch friends rule.
Exactly, the trap of avoiding your own network because you're scared you'll lose the relationship if you try to serve them professionally.
You know, that fear of bothering them is a huge diagnostic tool for the core mindset error.
How so?
It reveals that the professional sees selling as an act of taking.
Yeah.
Taking their time, their money, their goodwill.
Precisely. And here's the intellectual challenge from the material. If you are genuinely competent, if your solution helps people move away from real pain, then why on earth would you call the act of offering that solution bothering them?
That's a powerful reframing.
It raises an important question, right? If your solution is truly valuable, aren't you actually withholding a benefit by not bringing it up?
So if you define selling as an act of helping, which it should be, then avoiding the sale is actually avoiding the responsibility to use your competence for good.
Yes. And when we avoid that responsibility, we give the problem a nicer name, a lack of customers, which feels better. It absolves us of the real effort, which is facing our own avoidance.
So the immediate application is you have to look at your personal network differently.
Stop thinking, I am selling to a friend.
Right. The correct framework is I'm giving my friend, who I know has this specific problem, a proven, valuable way out. But let's, introduce some friction here. That sounds great in theory, but for a new entrepreneur who really needs that sale to pay rent, rejection isn't theoretical, it's an existential threat.
Sure, and the material doesn't ignore that pressure. It addresses it by demanding specificity.
What do you mean?
When you're terrified of rejection, it's usually because you're selling a generalized identity. You're selling yourself. The ritual forces you to stop doing that. When rejection happens to someone who has done the preparation, it doesn't mean I reject you. It means not the right time or not the right fit for this specific, well-defined solution.
You decouple your personal worth from the transactional outcome.
You completely decouple it, and that shift from generalized panic to specific preparation is where the ritual really begins.
Because once you deal with the mindset, you start to see that most professional activity, workshops, networking, posting on social media.
It's just generalized activity. It is not disciplined action.
Right. It's what you call going for luck.
Exactly. We contrast going for luck, just showing up and hoping for the best, with going with ritual. Most people are incredibly busy doing the former, and they're exhausted and see no results.
And that exhaustion is the byproduct of not preparing enough.
It absolutely is.
Okay, here's where the analysis gets really actionable. There's this fantastic anecdote that illustrates the power of this ritual.
Oh, the conference story. Yeah, this is a perfect example.
So the material describes this specialist, right, in a super niche industry. And for 4 consecutive years, this person attended the exact same major conference.
4 years, and this conference should have been a gold mine. It was filled with their ideal clients.
The perfect gathering place. Think about that investment. 4 years, returning empty-handed every single time.
The research actually tallied it up. It was something like 32 hours of travel, 2.5 full days wasted at the venue, not to mention the expense. And this person was networking, exchanging cards, the classic going for luck.
So for the 5th year, the consultant gave them a very surgical instruction.
Changed nothing about the venue or the crowd.
But add just 3 hours of preparation beforehand.
And this wasn't, just glancing at the attendee list. This was 3 critical ritualized steps.
Okay, what were they?
First, define the specific ideal attendee and identify key targets. Second, craft the precise message tailored to their pain points. And third, and this is key, design a specific, valuable give-receive offer.
Which is what, exactly?
A discount. No, not at all. It's a free gift designed purely to open a relationship, not to close a sale.
And the outcome is it's astonishing.
Yeah.
The same person, same conference, same crowd,
Yeah.
after just 3 hours of preparation.
Return to the office with 12 firm commitments from ideal clients to participate in that give-receive offer.
12 versus 4 years of absolute silence.
The results just speak for themselves. It perfectly proves the core lesson. The difference isn't the venue or the market. It lies entirely in the person entering that venue.
So the ritual means you know precisely who you'll talk to, what you'll say, what valuable gift you'll offer, and what the single clear next step is.
You trade exhaustion for targeted results.
Which brings us to the external mechanism.
Yeah.
How do we translate this internal commitment into action?
Well, if the goal isn't just broad marketing, then lead generation is really about creating the conditions for people to trust you.
For them to want to enter a one-on-one dialogue with you.
Exactly. It's opening a door to the right person. And that give-receive offer, that's the key.
And it works because it bypasses their fear of being sold to.
Yes, and it taps directly into some deep psychological lies, making that first dialogue feel natural and almost inevitable. We've synthesized 5 critical laws that a successful offer hits at the same time.
Okay, let's break those down. Let's use an example. Say you're a specialist who helps manufacturing firms optimize their supply chain.
Okay.
Your give-receive offer isn't just a free consultation. It's a customized 15-minute logistics flow, diagnostic, and blueprint.
Perfect. So law number 1. Reciprocity. When you genuinely give that custom blueprint, which has real value, it takes them forward, people feel an innate pull to respond.
They feel indebted, but not in a transactional way.
Not at all. It's because you were generous first.
Okay, law 2. Social proof. How does that diagnostic trigger belief?
By explicitly framing it with results. You say something like, based on the blueprint we created for 3 other firms just like yours, you aren't selling a process, you're showing a validated path that their peers are already on.
Got it. Law number 3, commitment.
This is so important. It's the path of the small yes. Accepting that valuable free blueprint is a small commitment.
It's a small yes.
That small yes lowers their psychological resistance and opens the door to the eventual large yes of long-term cooperation.
Number 4 is scarcity. This is where I think a lot of people go wrong. They make the offer too generic.
They absolutely do. The source material is very clear. You have to state constraints. Because this diagnostic requires custom data entry, we're only accepting 4 new clients for this blueprint in Q2.
Without that scarcity, it just feels like marketing spam.
And finally, Law 5, clarity. This goes right back to the pain point. Customers buy because they understand what specific, measurable pain you solve.
Not because you're just a good supply chain expert.
Exactly. The blueprint solves this specific logistics choke point. That singular clarity is everything.
And that clarity, it also radically changes how you ask for referrals.
Oh, a huge area of anxiety.
Right. The old clumsy way is, can you give me 5 phone numbers? Which just burdens the referrer.
It feels awful. The correct way, built on this principle of giving, is to empower your referrer to become a gift giver.
So you tell them who's a good fit, who's not, and then you give them, say, 5 of your blueprint vouchers to distribute themselves.
And the dynamic shifts completely. Your friend isn't running an errand for you. They're offering a valuable gift to someone they know is suffering, they feel generous, and you've accessed a high-trust network without being a bother.
So the synthesis is simple. All these tactics, articles, partners, meetings, it all boils down to one question.
Do you make people feel they have received genuine, specific value before they have to even consider buying anything from you?
So to help you integrate this, not just as a tactic, but as a long-term approach, the sources provide this brilliant 4-tiered map for maturity.
Right. It's a way to structure your growth.
And I really appreciate this because it's not a to-do list. It's about actual internal development. Level 1 is awareness.
Which is the essential first step. Recognizing that your sales anxiety comes from fear, and diagnosing if you lack leads or, more likely, you lack preparation discipline.
Level 2 is insight.
This is that aha moment. You realize that customers will never just appear. You have to proactively create the conditions for them to approach you. You truly internalize that selling equals helping, not exploiting.
Level 3 is wisdom. This is where the discipline comes in.
You pick a small number of tactics, maybe 2 or 3, that genuinely suit your style and resources. And the key principle is to execute deeply, not broadly.
And consistently, not just when you feel motivated.
Consistency over whim, every single time.
And the final level, level 4, is illumination.
This is the highest level of professional maturity. When you operate with this ritual of generosity and preparation, you become a trustworthy person to know. The need for desperate tactics just fades away.
Your professional life itself becomes the invitation.
That's it, exactly.
That's a powerful destination. But let's go back to the starting line. For the listener who is shy or dreads writing that first email.
The material assures us that fear is so often baseless and it goes away quickly. Once you see that structured, quality stream of customers flowing from your ritual, the anxiety just recedes.
So the simplest, most powerful starting point, which is also the most avoided, is this. Create a list.
Just a list. 10 people in your network whom you truly believe you can help solve a specific problem.
Then immediately you draft that clear, valuable, free give-receive offer, an audit, an analysis, a blueprint, and you write an invitation that only gives an opportunity. It never begs.
And finally, you prepare mentally. Not everyone is suitable for your solution, and that is absolutely fine.
That professional acceptance, that understanding that you're curating a quality clientele instead of chasing every shadow, that's the ultimate freedom.
It is.
And that sense of dignity is really the final takeaway. The freedom that comes from this ritual, from the belief that I am helping, is the ability to curate your professional life.
The freedom to choose your clients.
The freedom to say no to bad fits, to make mistakes, to work with dignity. You don't lack customers. You lack the consistent ritual.
And that ritual is immediately actionable. We want to give you a 15-minute action challenge right now.
Yeah, take 15 minutes right after this deep dive wraps up. Pull out a piece of paper.
First, write down 10 people you know who are facing a specific challenge. Second, write one single sentence. What concrete, specific thing can I help them with right now?
And third, draft the title and a one-sentence description of a simple, valuable give-receive offer to open that conversation. Offering genuine help, expecting nothing back.
And our provocative thought for you is this. If you adopt this disciplined ritual, eventually you won't need desperate tactics or expensive marketing. The quality of your prepared, generous professional life will become your most powerful invitation, making any reliance on luck completely obsolete.